Hi, I'm Vivian the Knitter.
And I'm Alyson the Crocheter, and you're listening to Keep Calm and Carry Yarn.
Thank you so much for joining us for episode 34 of Keep Calm and Carry Yarn, a knitting and crocheting podcast brought to you by me, Vivian, and my daughter, Alyson. I'm coming at you from New Hampshire.
And I'm recording here from Scotland. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Thanks for joining us again.
Yay. It's October.
It is October, which is crazy.
Uh-huh.
It actually is a little crazy. But a special thank you to someone who said hi on Ravelry. Her Ravelry name is Taralia JJ from Canada, and she found us through a Reddit recommendation, which is kind of funny, just because...
I didn't even know that was something that you can do on Reddit.
Well, I mean, it's just a site full of different subthreads, so, I don't know, someone probably asked for a podcast recommendation, and someone recommended us.
Yeah, thank you to JJ for saying hello, and to whoever it was that recommended us to her on Reddit.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. I know she said that she struggles with finding a crochet-friendly, stitch and bitch. I don't know. Are we swear on this podcast, don't we? A little bit. A group at her local yarn stores. I think that's probably the case for most people. It's a knit and natter, or it's a whatever. It's mostly knitting based anyway. So she said that it feels like she's just sort of having a chat with us, which is definitely. I think I commented back to say that that's sort of. I think that's been our little niche.
Yeah,
like we're just sort of the grab a cup of tea or coffee, and you're just sort of chatting with us. Which I think kind of comes about because there's two of us.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Anyway.
You're absolutely right.
Speaking of cups and teas and coffee and warm things, that's my segue into our BuzzFeed quiz because it's to do with the colder weather, and you picked it.
Yep, and it's what type of sweater are you?
And just for, I don't know, any new listeners, because we've not really explained why we do this in a while, but we started it in the first episode, just because we thought it was a fun way to get to know, or for our listeners to get to know us. And ever since then, that's just what we do. Open things up with the BuzzFeed quiz.
Yep. With a BuzzFeed quiz, yes. So, what did you get?
I got hip crew neck.
Hip crew neck.
And then the description says, you're the cool kid and you make it look pretty damn effortless. You have some insecurities, but who doesn't? You take pride in knowing what's happening before everyone else. People value your opinion. I find this to be terribly inaccurate. I definitely do not know anything before anyone else. I'm like the last to know.
Wait, who's on the picture on yours?
It's a model.
Oh, so it's not like a famous person, or
no, she's definitely like a model that people know her name, but I don't know who it is.
Know. Okay,
this is how much I don't know anything before anybody. I don't know who this is.
Well, I got cardigan.
Nice.
You're driven by intellectual pursuits and are always striving to learn more. You love to read and visit museums. People consider you very practical, but you're quietly more creative than people think. And on my picture, I got Mr. Rogers. Oh. Dancing with somebody else. I don't know who that somebody else is.
I feel like that's a good one. I'd rather have gotten that one.
Yeah. I like mine. I'm sticking with it.
Yeah. Well, mine the picture of the result of the model, whatever. She's not even wearing a sweater. She's wearing a sweatshirt.
Oh, no. Well, to be fair, when you were younger, you didn't know the difference between sweatshirt and sweater, and I was always
actually,
correcting
you know what?
you.
It's not just that. But I feel like even as I got older, I knew the difference, and I still do it sometimes. I'll say the wrong one, and then I'll have to fix myself. Like it just comes out.
Uh-huh.
I think I usually just say sweater, even if it's a sweatshirt, and I'm like, well, I mean sweatshirt.
Okay, if you say so, but yeah, you used to get that wrong all the time.
I want to know how you got the cardigan and why I got the hip crew neck. So what was the first question was pick a fall activity. What did you pick?
I think mine was the apple picking.
Oh yeah, I picked apple picking and pumpkin picking as well. The other ones were sweater shopping, going to a football game, drinking pumpkin spice lattes, going hiking or camping, and walking in the park.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like apple and pumpkin picking aren't really things here. So certainly not pumpkins, but
Oh, well.
I was looking to see what sort of, like, if you could do apple picking here. And you can't really. You can go, like, pick your own fruit, but apple isn't really one of the fruits.
That was definitely something that we did. Like every September, October, we would go apple picking in one place. And then later on, we started going to that corn maze with the giant hamster wheels.
I feel like...
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
I love
Madeline
fall.
was just talking
That's
about
probably
that.
why I like it.
Yeah.
I mean, even... So, your fall drink out of hot cocoa, hot apple cider, cold apple cider, literally anything pumpkin, Oktoberfest beer, or whiskey. I'm going to guess that you picked hot apple cider.
I did.
I picked cold apple cider.
Well, you can't even get apple cider there, so you'll take it cold, right?
No, not apple cider that the quiz is talking about. Just cider.
Yeah, not the kind that we get here.
Yeah. Which I think is probably why I picked those two things, is because I can't do them here.
Was there any other? Oh, the puppy. Which puppy did you pick?
I picked the sleepy puppy that's yawning.
So did I. It's so cute. With a black eye.
I think... normally I feel like I would go for the golden retriever, but he looks a bit grumpy.
He looks tired.
Yeah, he does look tired. But this one is tired and yawning and cute.
Yeah, and just very cute looking.
Right.
Okay.
So those are the sweaters we are, apparently.
Yeah, I'm a cardigan. Which is good, because I do like cardigans. I was just wearing one earlier. But it wasn't quite cool enough for a cardigan. But I'm glad I had it, because we were walking around the mall, and it was a little chilly in some of the stores. So, what do you got going on your hooks these days?
I've got 2 new projects.
You do?
It's exciting. So, the first thing I've got is something I've started with yarn that I already had, but I had to frog a project. It was my linen loops scarf, like infinity scarf thingy. And the yarn is my special yarn that I bought at the first Edinburgh Yarn Festival I went to. It's Bilum hand-dyed yarn on the Mooli base, which is 65% silk, 35% camel. It's the dark purple one. I think I made the linen.
You already finished it?
Right.
Didn't you already finish
Yeah,
it?
I finished it. I frogged an FO.
Oh.
Yeah,
Why?
like I made it for our ultraviolet cow last year. Because it's a purple yarn.
It's purple.
I frogged it because I've worn it like maybe twice. Maybe only once, really. Just because I don't think it was the right project for the yarn. The yarn is just so soft because it's silk and camel, and that pattern, it's very, it's very open, it's very lacy, and the actual, I just had the 100 gram skein, I think, and the infinity scarf, I could wrap it around my neck 3 times, but it was really skinny, so it wasn't like cozy. You didn't really get the feel of how soft the yarn is. So I've been thinking. Did you have problems?
I mean, it's got camel in it. Was it fuzzy when
I frogged it? Yeah. So I did have to like kind of carefully rip bits, but the yarn didn't like break at any point.
Oh, that's good.
And it seems to be
fine.
Well,
the silk would help, I guess.
What is it about that? Because I thought that it was because maybe it's not plied tightly enough that would have caused problems.
Well, just the fuzz factor of camel, the way it sticks to itself, that would,
make it difficult.
Make it difficult. You would probably not want to frog another project made from this yarn. Do you know what I'm saying? Like if you make another project
again,
you wouldn't want to frog it again. Yeah, it might start falling apart. But the silk definitely helps keep it together.
35%. No, it's mostly silk. 65 silk, 35 camel.
Okay, because the silk is very strong.
Yeah, because I was gonna say I wouldn't characterize the yarn as being particularly fuzzy, to look at. Like it doesn't. Anyway, but it is really soft. So I'm making the Venetian Carnival Cowl by Michelle B, who's My Daily Fiber. I think that's her blog website. And it's a pretty popular pattern. And it's a cowl that buttons. So you start with the button band, and it's got these sort of triangle what's points. It's got like points, and each point is where a button would go. Oh, there's a buttonhole. I don't know if that's the part that makes it Venetian. I don't know. So it's got spaces for 6 buttons, and then the idea is that you can wear it as a cowl, and then you can button it. You can either... The picture on Ravelry has the different ways you could potentially style it, because you could have all the buttons buttoned, or just some of the buttons, and then have it folded over like a collar, or whatever. Leave the bottom buttons unbuttoned. It's very pretty. Yeah, it's a thicker fabric, so I think it's easier to feel the softness of the yarn.
Because it's denser.
Because it's denser, yeah. The
I
main
like
body of
the blue one, the blue version. That's what I like.
Yeah, I feel like the designer has made a bajillion different versions of it in different yarns, but the main thing that she seems to do is to do it in like more solid sorts of colors, but it's what's the word? Variegated? Is it variegated? Like not even variegated, but like
just like tonal. Out of tonals.
Yeah. So I think the purple I have is kind of tonal as well.
It's cute worn as a little collar too, with a little, like a...
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like
if you collar.
If you unbutton the top 2 buttons and then fold it over like a collar.
It's like wearing a dickie.
Yeah, but it's like really high on your neck.
Dickies are like turtlenecks.
Yeah. So yeah, it's pretty like mindless, easy pattern. It's working out pretty quickly, because once you do the button band, the rest is just...
Well, you're gonna have a lot of yarn left, though, aren't you?
I don't think so. I'm nearly done, and
really,
I've got more. I've got a little bit left, or got a bit.
So
left.
I guess because your other project was so lacy, it just blocked out bigger. I mean, it was longer.
Well, yeah. I mean, like I said, I could wrap it around my neck 3 times, but the actual project was really skinny as well.
Yeah. Nice. Well, I'm sure that'll be really nice around your neck.
Yeah, and so I want to try to find wooden buttons for it. I think most people seem to pick out metal buttons, because the example project.
How many buttons are there again? 7?
There's 6, and they're pretty big. But I want to try to find like natural sort of looking buttons, maybe, rather than something super designed.
Yeah, I have some of those buttons that are made out of branches that they just
something like that.
Yeah,
I think
would be pretty.
I found one couple that does those buttons somewhere in the Highlands. I don't know if they have a shop though. I think you have to just email them and ask them what they have available.
Oh, well, that would be really cool.
Yeah. So the other one I'm working on is a sock.
A what?
A sock.
Oh, a sock. Oh, you're doing the sock along? Are you doing a crochet sock along?
Yep. So there's a crochet sock cowl 2018. It's being organized by Faye from the Crochet Circle podcast, but sort of run jointly with other people. So I know like the chatter thread is in Crochet Luna's Ravelry group, forum, partly because she's had this thread about crochet socks since almost day one. And then the finished object thread is in Catherine's group. She's Crafting and Treats, and then Tamara, who is Crafty Escapism, is also organizing the blog hop. So lots of people are writing blog posts to do with the crochet socks, because obviously knitted socks are usually the
go-to,
default of what people think of. So I'm using yarn that I got a while ago. I think it was one of those ones where I was just buying it from like lovecrochet.co.uk, and I needed to make it up to free shipping. So I just bought like a couple balls of sock yarn. So it's Sidar Heart and Soul, which is wool and nylon, and the colorway is 104 Move to the Groove. So it's like a deep pink and a blue and a sort of green with a bit dark greenish and a mustard and stripes, like fat stripes.
Oh, so yeah, so it started from the toe up then.
Yeah, so I'm doing toe up, and it is the Gorman Street Socks by Ron Strong, which is from the Step Into Crochet book, which is the book that I did, the first sock I did. So I think he's got 2 basic sock patterns. This one, the Gorman Street, and the other one that I did, which is the belt line. And I really, really struggled with the belt line. I think partly because there was a lot of errors in the book, and it was my first sock. And that one was, I did the cuff down one. And so before I started this one, I saw that Caroline from the Mind and Muse podcast had made it as well. So I messaged her just to ask how she found it before I started. And she actually said it was one of her favorite socks to do, and that it fit her really well. And then Tamara, I saw she had done it as well, and in her project notes, she said that she got a pretty good fit from it too. So yeah, so I'm tying it toe up, which I can understand why, like, people like to do it this way because you can tie it on as you go.
Yeah.
And also, I didn't do a gauge swatch, so I started out with the biggest size because of really wide feet. And I realized that it was way too big, and because I know I crochet decently loosely, so then I went down to the middle size, and that was still too big. So I've gone down all the way to the smallest size, which is definitely not right, but because I obviously haven't done it to the right gauge.
I see.
But I think it'll be okay.
It looks cute.
So, yeah, so I've just gotten to the first row of the gusset. Is that to do the increases there?
Yeah, where yes,
where your feet starts to become your ankle.
So, would they be socks that you can wear in your shoes, or?
I don't know. They are pretty thick. Like they'd be more like slippery, but so they'd probably be just house socks. I think. Maybe I would wear them out if I was living in New Hampshire in the dead of winter.
Oh.
But I don't think it gets really that cold here.
Yeah. Well, I know I have a problem with like socks that are too thick. Generally don't work for me because I can't fit into my shoes or even my boots because I have such wide feet.
Oh, I'd be able to fit into my snow boots.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess snow boots because I tend to buy them kind of big anyway.
Ooh, maybe I'll take them. I've got a ski holiday in January. I do that because I've never once in my life skied, and this is like a big group holiday to the French Alps, and everyone's freaking excited, and I don't want to go skiing.
Just bring lots of yarn with you.
Well, that's what I said. I said that I will just crochet and read and eat all the free food and, well, I mean, we've paid for it, but it's included, and wine and whatever, and I'll be perfectly happy.
Yes.
But yeah, and I'll have toasty warm socks.
You can bring your snow boots back with you.
Yeah.
From home.
So
that'll be fun.
I don't think I have too much else to say about these.
Any other whip?
No, just the 2, but those are both new projects. With yarn I already have.
Nice. Well, yeah. Well, it's actually a crochet project or a project with yarn.
Huh?
Well, last time you didn't have any.
Oh yeah, my whip was my dress.
So 2 of my whips are the same. I didn't really work on my sweater that much.
Your engie.
My engie. And then my Shorties hat, I was furiously knitting on it today. I was like, I can finish it today before we record. But then your dad wanted to go out because he was like, he works out of the house, so he was done with all his work. And he's like, I want to go out. He's going to be going out of town again soon. So we went to the mall, wandered around, had lunch, and so because of that, I'm so close to finishing, but I'm not. I'm in the crown decrease.
So the Shorties hat is the one with the sheep on it, the color
with the sheep on it.
They're like they're front on sheep, so So you see like the
Front,
front of
yes,
the face.
from the front.
Do they have horns, or is those that ears?
They do.
Little curly
They
horns.
do kind of have horns, yeah. And I'm using EYF yarn, some of the natural Meet the Shepherdess yarns that I got on the Sunday of the festival.
Mm-hmm.
So it smells so good. And it's just very cozy. So I'm very happy with it. It'll definitely be done by the next episode.
Okay.
And like I said, I really didn't work on my Engie. Well, the reason why I did finish the hat and I wasn't really working on the Engie was because shortly after, about a week after we last recorded, I was talking to my sister and she said that her youngest is having a llama party for her birthday. And I was like, oh, llamas. I love llamas. Everybody knows I love llamas. So I was like, well, I should just knit her a llama toy or something. She's going to be 10, so she's still at the age where she's young enough to have a stuffy. That's fine. So I just wanted to do something quick.
Mm-hmm.
And I found a pattern. It's called Pax the Alpaca, Pax, by Amanda Berry. And so I decided I was going to do a pink and purple llama. But the purple that I had, Madeline and I decided didn't really look good. Right now, it just looks like a worm.
Or something else.
Yes, especially since this part is bigger down
and
here.
It's pink and fleshy looking.
Yeah, it's pink. it's very obscene looking. And so anyway, I decided I wasn't going to use the purple, and I found this tan color that I use. I think it was for the sheep hat or something that I made last year for another little girl, or the year before. The
muzzle.
The muzzle.
Okay. See, even you just putting that on the top bit I'm like, okay, I can see how this is gonna be a llama.
Well, I don't have enough stuffing, and I really needed to have enough stuffing to be able to start sewing the muzzle on. And then I realized as I did the arms, and it's a free pattern. I mean, I'm not really. Yeah, it's got arms and legs.
Arms,
because it looks like it's a stuffed toy. It's not standing on all fours.
It's more like a teddy bear version of a llama.
Correct.
Okay.
So it looks like this. Can you see?
Okay. Okay. Right. Okay. I get it.
Well, so as I'm knitting away on this, it's like, oh crap! I don't have enough of the tan for the bottom part of the legs.
Right.
And also, they're all knit in pieces, like knit flat. And after seaming the big part, I decided I was going to knit the legs in the legs in the round.
Right.
Because I had already knit the arms, but then I ran out of the tan, so I've given up.
So you're just not making it?
I ran out of the tan. I'm not gonna make it. So this is a knit fail.
I mean,
a very obscene.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
fail.
like, I'm sure there's some reason. Maybe not you, but maybe me or Emily could use a knitted penis. I'm just imagining like a bachelorette party or something. I got you something. It's handmade and everything. It's this lumpy knitted penis.
That's a big one. I can't even get my hands around it.
I mean, I was gonna say that's what she said, but I won't. But I already did, so it's too late.
So these are the legs. Oh, the arms and the legs.
Right.
Yeah. So anyway, I give up. I'm not even gonna. I'm gonna buy her something with llamas on it.
You really
pencil case
Could you not
or
have to
something.
like a smaller version?
I just don't want to do it. It's like there's a reason why I don't really make toys. I give up. I give up.
Oh goodness.
So,
and what does a llama party entail? Is it just that all the decorations?
Well, yeah.
are
There's
llamas?
the decorations. They already bought this llama pinata. But they said we're not going to use it as a pinata.
Right.
We're just going to use it as a centerpiece because it's too cute to hit. And
Yeah.
they have a llama farm in their town or near where they live, and they have a lot of parties
Uh-huh.
there. Apparently,
Oh.
she's already been to 2 llama parties this year
Oh my, what?
from other
That's like,
girls. Yeah, and
what?
she still wants to do a llama
What?
party for her own birthday. So okay, whatever. Llamas are very sweet and cute. So
Well, you can tell what socioeconomic bracket our extended family falls into. The llama parties.
yeah.
Although, to be fair, we've been talking about at work about going alpaca trekking in the Pentlands.
Oh, really?
Because apparently there's a farm that does that, and
Uh-huh.
everyone really wants to go walk an alpaca now.
Well, llamas are supposed to be more gentle than alpacas, even though llamas are bigger than.
And a bit dopier looking.
Yeah, I think because llamas are bigger and alpacas, I don't feel they have something to prove or something, so they can be meaner.
Like yippy dogs.
Yeah. They're both very sweet looking.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are my only whips.
So do you have any FOs? Because I don't have any FOs.
I do have an FO. I've already showed it to you, and it's not a yarny FO. It's my macrame plant hangers.
So what did? They're not super macrame-y.
No,
are they?
I think technically they're not even macrame anymore. I saw Pinterest, of course. I wanted to hang little planters from my kitchen window off of this tension rod that I have lying around, and of course I went onto Pinterest and I searched for plant hangers or whatever, and I saw these easy macrame plant hangers. So I'm like, okay. So I went and I bought my buckets. They were 50% off at Michael's. I was super happy, and it's a lot harder than it looks.
Is it like trying to get the right shape?
Well, it's like
Buckets
where
in.
you put the knots. You know, if you don't put them even, then it's lopsided. And then, but the instructions were not all that great. It's like, oh, just put a knot here, and then put the knots here, and then it's like you really should be measuring where to put the knots, based off of how big your pot is.
Mm-hmm.
And so it took me like an hour and a half just to do one little one, and my fingers were sore. And I got the pot in, and it just didn't look right. It was just like sitting in it lopsided. I'm like, okay, but because once you knot everything, you can't adjust the knot. So I had a bright idea. I decided to use those plastic pony beads instead of knots. So at least once I slipped 2 strands in of the twine, I can adjust it. So that's what I did.
It's twine that you used.
What's that? Oh, I used a
twine.
jute twine, string twine. So that took the rest of the afternoon to make the 4.
So it's not knotted at all. It's just
It's
thread
not
through
well. The top part is knotted and the bottom part is knotted.
Right.
So, but it's thread through beads to hold everything in place. And my fingers were still sore because I had to shove the jute into the beads, because you can't use beads that are too small. It won't fit. You can't use beads that are too big. It'll just slide around. You have to. It has to be the.
So do you just happen to have the beads lying around? Are they the beads that you use in your project bags?
Yes, they are. They're the beads that I use for the project bags. So that took all afternoon. I started like right after lunch. I started doing it, and then I stopped, picked Madeline up, came home, and I just continued. I was watching Ellen, and and it was like almost dinner time by the time it was done.
I don't suppose you have pictures of your wonky ones.
No, I probably should have taken a picture, but so I'm proud of it.
Oh, well.
I think they look really cute, and we're gonna put some seeds from our garden. Maybe we can plant some Thai basil or some Lebanon basil in there. That's what Madeline wants to do. So that's my only FO. So it's a non-yarny FO like yours last year.
Isn't it? But aren't you want to do like more like trailing hanging plants out of hanging pots, like ivy or
You don't have to.
spider plant?
Well, I do have that
I feel like
one.
that's what
They
said.
both trailing plants, but the ones on the bottom I'm just going to put herbs because I can. And maybe put some on the windowsill.
Nice.
Yep. That's it. Sorry.
Well, I guess I could say then that my FO is my Rachel Chu costume that I talked about last week.
Which you looked absolutely adorable in.
Hee hee. Not that anyone knew who I was, but I was happy with myself. And the fact that it was homemade and everything.
Yep. And Sam went as Ron Weasley.
He did. His was not homemade.
So I thought he didn't want to buy anything for his...
No. He was okay with buying something. It was more the fact that he was thinking about how much was reasonable to buy for a costume that he was basically just going to wear once. And I said, well, I spent definitely less than 15 pounds on all my materials. So closer to 10, I think. So he definitely spent more than that. And his wasn't even homemade.
I'm sure you'll find an opportunity to use it.
Me, personally.
It's a Harry Potter robe.
Yeah, but it doesn't fit me. It's massive.
Oh, is it? It's not like one size fits all or anything?
No, it's like a proper adult size.
Okay, I suppose you can always hem it.
Anyway.
Well, I know you have lots for Yarny Bits and Bobs.
Yeah, so I already posted on Instagram because it's already happened. But I met up with 2 other crochet podcasters for dinner. I met up with Claudia from Crochet Luna and Hannah from the Cozy Cottage Crochet. No one gonna
Cozy Cottage Crochet.
Cozy Cottage Crochet? Cozy Crochet Cottage. Cozy Cottage Crochet, I think. I'm pretty sure Elizabeth also cannot ever get the words in the right order. Anyway. So what happened was Claudia was in England for Yarndale, which was last weekend, and she's traveled all the way from California for this.
That's a long trip.
That's like I think it was part of a larger trip, which I wasn't really aware of. Like, I knew she was going to Yarndale, and I knew I wasn't going to Yarndale. But she messaged me on Instagram to say, hey, I'm actually going to be in Scotland. Do you want to meet up for dinner? So obviously she was in Scotland. She came up to Scotland after Yarndale for a few days to do some tourist sightseeing. And I said yes. And then it turned out that Hannah happened to be in the UK as well. Just, like, not for Yarndale, just with her husband, just traveling. Oh. Yeah, they were doing a trip to London, Edinburgh, and Dublin.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I don't think we overlapped for like 2 days, I think. Like all the 3 of us. Well, I mean, obviously I'm here all the time. But yeah, so Claudia managed to get hold of her and say, hey, we're meeting for dinner. So yeah, it's the 3 of us. It was really funny. Just, you know, a podcaster from California, Florida, and, well, you know, transplant. Just happening to be in Edinburgh at the same time.
Nice.
But yeah, so we had a really, really, really good time talking lots of crochet things and yarn things, and Hannah's husband was there, so he had to suffer through that. Yeah, and they were both really, really lovely, and it was kind of weird. Kind of just like sat down and immediately started talking as if we'd met each other before, but obviously I've not met either of them before. It just
had they met each other before?
I think the 2 of them had.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and I got some very nice presents from them. A little sheep thingy from Hannah, and a lovely, lovely linen and crocheted hook
holder
thingy case case. And some of her buttons, her Crochet Luna buttons.
Nice.
And one for the sock cal as well. So, spoilt. I mean, I'm spoiled. That's what I meant. But, yeah, I don't know. It was just really nice.
So how long did you guys stay? How long were you guys together?
Probably a couple hours, but, you know, it's a school night for me, so.
I was there on vacation.
Yeah.
No, that's
it was
so
funny.
Nice.
talking to my coworkers about the dinner I was going to. I was like, oh yeah, I'm just, meeting up with some people that I met on the internet.
Well, you watch them.
In a not creepy way. I watched them.
Yes, in a not creepy way. And they watch you or us, so we watched each other.
Yes. So that's what I've been up to.
I'm glad you had fun, and I'm glad you guys, or you ladies, had the time for each other, that their trips coincided.
Yeah, it's just incredible. Like, I guess it's helpful that I live in,
a place where people want to go visit.
Yeah, a touristy,
a popular vacation spot.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Whereas nobody wants to come here.
I saw that. That, but no one would ever imagine thinking of going to the middle of nowhere, New Hampshire. But Boston's
We're
not far.
We're not in the middle of nowhere. We're at the edge of somewhere.
Yeah, you're on the edge of somewhere.
Well, I did meet up with Caroline, so
that one time, yeah,
yeah, only because she has family here.
No, but still, it's still amazing.
It is very amazing that we can meet people that we met online.
Mm-hmm.
Though I met her for the first time in Edinburgh.
Yeah. So I actually have Mommypedia for you this week, and you've had a heads up, but so
yeah, I needed a heads up for this one.
Yeah, so I'm almost like weirdly nervous about saying it, but so the other night I was lying in bed just thinking, and I don't know what happened. I was just in bed and it just descended upon me, this feeling. I was like, oh, I kind of feel like I want to try knitting something. I was like, what?
It says mom.
I think it's one of those things that, like, I've sort of thought about it before, but more from a perspective of at some point, like, obviously I know how to knit, or I've been taught how to knit and things, so it's not like I didn't want to ever, but for some reason that night it just I don't know, it was a different feeling.
You had a really strong urge to do it?
It's not even like an urge, it's just like I don't know, but I think especially because obviously we do this podcast and I'm the crochet half and you're the knitting half, and it feels like some sort of betrayal if I do anything other than crocheting. And I sort of mentioned it to Claudia and Hannah, and they were like, don't be stupid, like, you should try to knit if you want to learn how to knit, like, but it does it I don't know.
Well, if you knit something, I'll crochet something. How's that?
Okay. Something. Yeah. Okay.
Something what?
Okay. And then, well, unrelated. One of the things that I had said to you at one point was that we should do a project where you do the knitted version and I do like the crochet version.
Uh-huh.
But yeah. That's unrelated.
But not socks.
No, not socks. Like a specific pattern, like a shawl pattern where the designer has designed both a knitting and a crochet version, sort of thing.
But that might be hard to find, huh?
Well, I know Faye's done some. I can think of at least two that she's done. 2 shawls, yeah.
Okay. You can do the research.
I'll do some research, yeah. But so
okay.
Back to the Mommypedia. So my question for you is, what are some good first-time knitter projects?
Okay, I'm going to say what is not a good first-time knitter project is a scarf. Because they go on and on and on forever, and then you're like, when is this ever going to end? So please don't do a scarf if it's your first.
Which seems counterintuitive, because a scarf seems easy.
It is easy, but it gets boring. It's just because it's a long thing and it's very boring. So I did, something small. I mean, something for you. I mean, you know the basic.
I mean, I really would have to
purl stitch.
Really refresh. Like, I'd have to think about it. I mean, I'd have to watch YouTube.
Yeah, but I think once you get the needles in your hands and like that muscle memory will come back. Mm-hmm. So you're not like a complete beginner.
Square one.
I did pull up a few patterns, And basically, for a beginner project, don't pick anything too big. Pick something on the small side. And I picked this, actually, I've taught a bunch of people on this. It's the grandmother's favorite washcloth. And so there's you're knitting out on the bias. There are decreases. You increase by doing a yarn over, and it's all garter stitch. So that is pretty easy. That's a good place to start. I also picked the pussy hat project. Yeah. That's actually a great project because there's a little bit of ribbing. There's knits and purl, but that I think the original version. Well, I know the original version is seam, so you don't have to worry about knitting in the round because that I don't know why, but that gets a lot of beginners nervous about knitting in the round. And there are really I don't think there are any decreases or anything because it's you're basically knitting a
rectangle,
a rectangle and folding it in half
to make the ears.
So that's a good one. So I mean, and because you're knitting it flat, you're knitting one side, purling on the other side. So you are doing the knits and the purls. Another good one. Actually, I don't know if this is actually a good pattern, but something like this would be great. I saw this basic neck warmer by Anna Sunny Knits, and it is a dickie.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Speaking of dickies.
You're doing like almost not half a sweater, but the top part of a sweater because you're doing decreases. You cast on around the shoulder part, and you do decreases in 4 different places, and of course it's in the round though. And then you get to the neck, and then you do a ribbing. So it's got a little bit of.
So would this be like a
interest?
Pre-making your first whole sweater project?
Oh yeah, I think this would be perfect.
I don't know if I'd wear that though.
Oh, well, you don't have to wear it.
Well, then what's the point of making it?
I don't know, but it's I don't know. It keeps your neck warm. You can wear it under something. But something similar to that, where you've got a little bit of interest, that you've got a little bit of decreases. Knitting and purling. So those are the 3 things that I just picked out randomly.
Well, not randomly.
Oh, well, yeah. That I saw on Ravelry.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking maybe I'll just wait until I'm home for Thanksgiving. Although at this point, I feel like
just next month.
Yeah, it's like But I also wanted
to shop in my stash, and then I would have plenty of needles too.
Steal some needles. Get you to show me how to. Because I'm also planning on bringing my coin purse so I can sew in the lining and do the zipper, and my my puffin pillow so I can actually finish that. It's just gonna be.
You're only gonna be home.
I know
for
a week. Not all of this is gonna get done, I suspect. But
probably not. We can't spend the whole time in my sewing room.
Ignoring the rest of the family.
Yeah, I don't think the rest of the family will be too happy about that.
No. Right. So, I mean, and if I do start knitting, then I definitely will have lots of more mommy questions.
There you go.
Yeah. I am just afraid. I'm afraid that I'll just like knitting so much, and then I'll just stop crocheting, and then what are we even? Hi, I'm Vivian the knitter, and I'm Alyson the knitter. Snowballing.
I wouldn't worry about that. You haven't even started knitting
yet.
Yeah,
I know.
Or maybe at that point, I'll be crocheting and you'll be knitting.
Yeah, like, well, that's gonna happen. Never.
No, you're right. That would not happen. I like my knitting too much. I have too much invested in my knitting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you have anything else for any other segments?
I have a little bit for Nerdtastic.
Yeah.
Doctor Who is starting on Sunday. So when this gets put
on Sunday,
out, I think on Sunday. Yes, it's coming out on Sunday,
oh,
and it's being broadcast the same time in the UK. I mean, worldwide or something like that. That's
Like
what
like the first episode.
the first episode. Yes,
Oh.
it's like at 1:30 in the afternoon here. Something weird.
Oh, weird, but not like unreasonable.
No, 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 not like 2 o'clock in the morning or anything.
Yeah, Sunday, 6:45 here.
6:45. Then why is it 1:30 here? Maybe it's 1:45. Never mind.
I mean, that would explain why you would. That's an even weirder time because shows do not start on quarters of hours in America. Like sometimes, like
No.
you'll get shows here, BBC shows, like it starts at 7:05. I'm like, no, why?
Are you talking about in the UK?
In the UK,
It starts
yeah.
at 7:05.
I don't know.
Oh.
Sometimes things start at weird times. I didn't even realize that was that soon.
Yeah, I'm glad I reminded you.
Right. In case anyone else has forgotten.
Yeah,
Dr.
so
Who.
I'm excited to see a woman Doctor Who.
I'm hoping this season will be better than the last few because I've not been a big fan of the last few seasons.
With the Peter Capaldi Doctor Who?
Yeah, he was all right, but I wasn't a big fan of Clara.
Oh, really? I thought she was adorable.
Yeah, she was all right. I guess I didn't really like. I don't know, like that his companions were a big mystery unto themselves. Like, because, you know, the whole thing with Clara, and I can't hardly even remember. The thing with Clara was that she was always there, wasn't she?
Something like that, yeah.
And
And then the last season with Bill, I was excited about before it started.
Yeah.
But the episodes themselves,
I wanted
I
to
don't
like it
remember.
more than I did, I think.
yeah, same here. I just didn't. It just didn't do anything for me. Oh, and the other thing is, they usually, Doctor Who when it comes around, we like to watch it as soon as it airs, or But Madeline and I, we like recorded the whole season before we even start watching it,
Which is a sure sign of
like-
how unexcited you were about it.
Yeah, I mean, after we watched the first
Yeah.
episode, all the subsequent episodes we didn't watch until the season was pretty much over.
Yeah, no, I think in terms of companions, I quite liked the first few. I'm still a fan of Rose and Martha and Donna. I wasn't a fan of Amy either.
I really like Donna because I love how mouthy she was.
But yeah, no,
Yeah.
that is very exciting.
Yeah, so yeah, we're excited about that. They're running Doctor Who marathons for like 4 days straight or something like that. So last night we watched a couple episodes, and then this afternoon, while I was trying to finish my Shorty's hat, I watched like half of an episode in between the CNN changing that your dad likes to do, because when he's home,
He's a
he
channel
pretty
flipper.
much watches CNN. Yeah, he's the TV hog.
Well, on the complete other end of the spectrum, I have a favorite thing this week, which is really, it's an unusual thing for me to talk about, but it's a reality TV show, and I don't
Oh my
watch
goodness.
reality TV shows. The closest thing I get are like skills-based competitions, like Bake Off
the
and Project
yeah.
Runway, like something where, they're having to
It's a
use.
yes.
Yeah. But this one, it's airing here in the UK. It's called The Circle, and the idea is that you can be whoever you want to be on social media. So they've got 8 contestants who are living in this apartment building, and they each get their own mini flat, and they're not allowed to leave the flat basically for however long they're in the competition, and they can only interact with the other 7 players through this, quote unquote social media network called The Circle. And so the filming,
So wait, they're not allowed to leave the flat,
they're not allowed to leave. They're not allowed to see each other, basically.
but
They're,
they're
like,
allowed
isolated.
to leave the flat.
You see them sometimes like on the roof or at the gym. So obviously, like the show has contrived it in a way that they can get to the gym without running into somebody else, basically.
Oh, I see.
Like they're just not allowed to see each other.
Okay.
So yeah, and the only way they're allowed to interact is through this closed social media network called the Circle, where they can, private chat with each other, group chat with each other. They're forced to play these like games, and to interact with each other. And the idea is that the person who is most popular, so who makes it to the end of the game, wins the cash prize. And the way people are voted as being popular is every few days they have to rate each other on a scale of 1 to 5, and then the top 2 most popular people then get to pick somebody to vote out of the game.
Oh.
But it's interesting because yeah, so you can be whoever you want to be. So some people are playing as themselves. Some people are like totally catfishing and playing somebody different. Some people are like tweaking things about themselves. So like one girl, she like for her like profile picture or whatever, she picked pictures that she thought was slightly less flattering because she thought that people like judged her on her appearance, like that she was just like some dumb pretty girl. And like another guy is playing it straight because he's like super gay. And then there's another guy who's playing a girl, and the pictures he's using is his girlfriend. And I actually really, really like him. And I've watched about half of the episodes that have aired so far, and it's a high proportion of the players are very obnoxious, but some of them aren't. And it's just really interesting. Like, it's so funny. Like, obviously, like, all people think that they're talking to this really sweet girl called Kate, but it's actually a man. Like, and he's like having to like, talk with the girls and like, and flirt with the boys and like, and it's really funny. It's really interesting. So if there's any UK listeners who want something to just binge on in the background, it's not that bad. And I've literally never ever watched any other reality TV show. I've never watched like Big Brother or Bachelor or Survivor. Like I've not
Housewives.
Watched. So I don't have anything to compare this to. Is one other caveat. But I think it's pretty interesting. It's pretty funny.
I think the only thing that I've watched that's close to reality TV was something that aired on PBS. It was like the 1800s House or something like that, where they took a family and they had to live as if it was in the 1800s.
This sounds familiar.
Yeah. And then they had like the Pioneer House, a different version, and then some. I think we watched, like, we didn't watch like the whole season, but we watched a lot of the 1800s House. That's the only thing I've watched that's kind of close to reality TV, because usually
so basically the nerdiest version of reality TV show you can find.
Yeah, I guess so, because I don't like the drama. And it's a lot of the drama it seems so far-fetched and also so contrived.
Oh yeah, like people like playing up to the camera and like
yeah.
There's
so
one player
so
on
fake.
this. I'm just like, oh, he's so annoying. But he's just like doing it for the cameras.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, so that's a random favorite thing for this week.
Funny. I didn't pick anything for this week.
No, it's okay. I just sort of thought about it because, yeah, I've been binging it. I've been binging it because I've been home alone for a little bit because our schedules are a bit off from each other's, and I didn't know what else to watch. But I have since gotten some other recommendations, so I can watch something
like
non-reality.
Non-reality TV?
Yeah, like
stuff?
like regular TV shows.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there's a lot of TV shows that are coming out, too. I started watching a new one called Manifest. And it's about, I think so, only 2 episodes have aired so far. It's about this flight that flies out of, can't remember where, somewhere in the Caribbean, and they're supposed to land in JFK, except the flight goes missing, and then 5 years later it appears, and nobody in the airplane has aged.
So it's like sci-fi.
Yeah, it's kind of, but it's on when the NBC or ABC or something. It's not like a sci-fi network thing. So I've been watching that, and is there something else I was seeing? Oh yeah, I had to watch the first episode of Magna PI just because that was a show that I watched when I was young, and I just had to at least watch one episode to see what it was like, and I haven't made a decision on whether or not I'm going to continue watching it. So that's very much basically it. So I think it's that time, huh?
Yep. So you should like and follow and comment and subscribe and thumbs up and all the things. But you can find our show notes on our website, which is kcacypodcast.wordpress.com. Follow us on Instagram at kcacypodcast. And you can also follow my personal Instagram, which is Alyson here. And my mom's personal Instagram is upstate_viv. Yeah, and join our Ravelry group. Just search Keep Calm and Carry Yarn Podcast on the Groups tab. And make sure to subscribe wherever it is that you listen to us, whether it's iTunes or YouTube or wherever else you stream podcasts from. So thanks for listening.
And remember to keep calm and carry yarn.